coaches in college basketball. Coach Greer, thank you for taking the time to join me at halftime.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
Well, first question, it's the obvious one. How much are you looking forward to opening up that new arena on campus here in now less than a month?
Well, really, first of all, a lot of credit goes to Rob Fournier for his efforts in putting this whole thing together. You know, obviously having a partnership with the Pistons is great, but, you know, it's long overdue, and it's, you know, he promised me an arena, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen on the 5th, but it's great for the student athletes, not only for Wayne State student athletes, but, you know, for high school basketball, and obviously with the G League coming there, it'll be a great venue to watch basketball in.
What does this arena say about the Wayne State program? What kind of commitment does it say that Wayne State is making towards men's and women's basketball?
Well, really, it's just a commitment to the fact that, you know, all our facilities around here,
right.
You know, Adams Field, we got the tennis facility, and all our athletes have received, you know, something as far as facilities go. And we were just the last on the list. And, you know, we might have got the biggest prize, but it just says something about the effort of our athletic department to help the student athletes have a championship experience.
All right, 2 years ago, when Rob Fournier was sitting in that same seat, he said, when this arena opens, we're going to have a Big Ten team come into the building to open up the arena. Now, I looked at him and I thought, he's a little crazy. But I didn't say that to him. When he told you the same thing, that he's going to bring in a Big Ten team for Wayne State to play in the first game in the arena, did you think he was crazy, or did you say, bring it on, I like the challenge?
Well, I looked at him and thought he was a little bit crazy. And
nice to know I'm not the only one.
I didn't tell him that, though. But again, with his hard work and effort, and credit goes to Juwan Howard and the Michigan Wolverines, because it's pretty unheard of a Big Ten team coming to play a Division II school on their home court.
Right.
But it's just an effort, that everybody wants to give back, and we appreciate it. But he could have got a Big Ten team that's not in the top 5 in the country.
Or didn't win the regular season title last year.
Yeah, but we appreciate it, and we appreciate the effort of Michigan coming to help us celebrate the opening of our arena.
What was the players' reaction when they found out that they were facing Michigan in the exhibition opener?
Well, they're excited, that the game's going to be here. Usually we would have to go to Michigan or go to another Division I school and play on their home court. But the fact that, you get them to come here and play on your home court. A lot of our guys have played AAU ball or high school basketball against a lot of the players. So, they're not intimidated, but Michigan's a very good basketball team.
Listen, we've talked about Michigan winning the regular season title in the Big Ten, but Wayne State won the GLIAC's regular season title as well. So you bring that into the season. How much momentum do you get from winning the Big Ten, or from winning the regular season title in the GLIAC, making the NCAA tournament? How much momentum do you bring into this year? Well,
that's big momentum, because we pretty much bring our whole team back.
Right.
With Darren Owens-White, he was an all-region player, all-conference player, and Avery Lewis did a great job defensively for us. He's second-team all-conference, first-team all-defense, and, it just builds confidence. I thought the team was a year away last year,
right.
So we should be hitting our stride come November.
How good was it to see that your team was ahead of schedule? Like you said, you thought maybe it was a year away, but all of a sudden, here's a team that wins the GLIAC regular season title. How good is that in the development of this team, knowing that you're a year ahead of schedule, maybe even a year and a half, 2 years ahead of schedule?
Well, I was really impressed with them because, we played a year of basketball in COVID. And,
right.
And with the pandemic and all the setbacks, and being that they were able to show their poise and hang tough, we had some starts, some stops, but
right.
they just as everybody did. But I thought our team was outstanding from the standpoint that we played great defense, we rebounded the basketball, and I always say if you do those things, you're going to give yourself a chance to win. And then we won all our games at home except one. So
you mentioned a pandemic. I've got to ask, how tough was it as a coach to navigate your way through the pandemic last season?
It was, but our training staff did a great job, and I thought the leadership of the conference did a great job, and we were able to play. Football didn't get a chance to play last
right.
year, so we were able to play, and our kids wanted to play, and we were able to do it safely. So hats off to our athletic department.
You've been coaching basketball a long time. We're not going to give away your age on this interview, but I've got to ask, what's the biggest change that you've seen in college athletics since you've been coaching?
Well, the biggest change is probably going to happen this year, with the transfer portal. You got kids that can transfer school and not have to sit out a year. And now it's, if a kid's get unhappy, he's just going to up and leave. And so now it's going to be really difficult to coach kids from the standpoint. It used to be you just had patience and you waited your turn to play. And now if you don't play right away, kids are going to get impatient. They're just going to leave.
Listen, coaching's already a tough job. How much tougher does the transfer portal make your job?
It really does. It really hurts Division II, because that was one of the cares that we would dangle out there, the fact that you didn't have to sit out a year if you came down from Division I and came to Division II. You could play right away. Now kids can go from Division I to Division I, so we're not going to get a lot of those Division I kids anymore. So it really hurts us. But the fact that, it's pretty much free agency now.
Final question for me, Coach. What do you like most about your team going into this season?
Really, I like our toughness, man. I think our guys are tough, and for me, that's my kind of team. You got to be able to get after it. You got to be able to guard somebody. You got to be able to rebound, and I think our guys will be up to the challenge this year with that.
A David Greer team that's tough. That never happens. I'm being facetious. I'm being facetious. David Greer teams are always tough. That's your number one hallmark. You want a tough team.
We do, and like I said, football is actually probably my favorite sport. And you got to be tough to play this game.
Right.
And so, but basketball is a physical game too. You got to be able to get in there, and you got to force your will on somebody, and I think we'll be up to the challenge.
He's the head men's basketball coach here at Wayne State. David Greer joining us here at halftime. Coach Greer, as always, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for the time. And listen, last time I did an interview, I forgot to invite Rod and Joe to the game. Can we please make sure that Rod and Joe get into the President's Suite and are invited to the opening game?
They can get into the President's Suite.
There you go. Rod and Joe have now been taken care of, so they don't have to get on my case anymore. Halftime, Wayne State leads Michigan Tech 20-13. The second half with Rod and Joe coming up. We'll be right back.